Ever wondered what makes TV so powerful in Jamaica? Time to find out. Welcome to Global TV Group 358, where television meets innovation. We're not just about shows, we're about shaping society. In Jamaica, TV keeps you informed, connects diverse voices, and supports democracy. Imagine a Jamaica where broadcasters unite, sharing data and collaborating globally. That's us, a unified voice in the TV industry. Did you know TV advertising is still king? It drives website traffic, boosts brand equity, and powers integrated campaigns. Even in an age of digital, TV stands strong, resilient in tough times. Our global TV deck is your treasure trove of insights and data. With charts, graphs, and success stories, it's your guide to impactful TV advertising. Curious to learn more? Visit our website and see how Global TV Group 358 keeps television at the heart of entertainment in Jamaica. Get ready to binge watch the future.
The greatest political song in history.
My father Banya, my father Banya, my grandmother Banya, my grandmother Banya, Ayana Ibanya, Ayana Ibanya, my leader Banya, my leader Banya. That's why I not live now. No, I not live now. He gave I a message to all those people who no love progress, who no love progress. Say to juke them with land lease. Say to juke them with land lease. Let the juke them with the pioneer board. Juke them with the pioneer board. Juke them with Jamal. Juke them with Jamal. Then you juke them with free education. Juke them with free education. Equal pay for women. Equal pay for women. Juke them with the minimum wage. Juke them with the minimum wage. My leader Banya. My leader Banya. So let me God I not live ya. Oh, I not live ya. Me a sat down with discipline. And a every man. Me in a the struggle too. Me in a the struggle too. No bastard, no day again. No bastard, no day again. Everyone laughful. Oh, oh, everyone laughful. To them with the Cuban school. To them with the Cuban school.
Oh, they work out. No one like you fast asleep. Reply tell us, say, rise and trim your life. Here's a message on your seal. Kill this man out. Lord God. Hey, but you fast asleep. Rise and trim up your lamp. Here's a message on your seal. You took your lamp, but you don't carry no hide. You took the lamp, but you don't carry no hide. You carry the lamp, but you never carry no hide. You took the lamp, but you don't carry no hide. Five were wise, five were foolish. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no hide. Them took the lamp, but them never carry no hide. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no hide. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no hide. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no hide.
and my company back Ballot! You have no integrity. Ballot! What a thump you get in your backy. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ. I have to take a break for this. I want the people them there were watching it here. Ballot! Time come.
You were watching the debate any at all last night, you would have seen in a desperate attempt the Prime Minister took all of us birth certificates and ripped them up and threw them to the bin. We all woke up this morning in bewilderment. Are we really Jamaicans? And have we been fooling ourselves for all this time that just because we were born in Jamaica, we are Jamaicans? It's not every time, Labour writes, that the Prime Minister makes a blunder that you all wants us to correct the Prime Minister blunder. What the Prime Minister says is what the Prime Minister really means. And it ought to have been no surprise to us of the treatment we got in COVID. You remember when Jamaicans who were born in Jamaica, who were stuck on the cruise ship, was unable to come off because Andrew Holness can't come off. That means a long time we're not Jamaican. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Thank you all for joining us. It's our aftermath after last night's massacre that Prime Minister Andrew Holness received, as the woman said, "Ball out." Mark Golden thumped you in your back last night, Prime Minister. And because of that thump you received from Mark Golden, it make you then move on to start spewing the usual bullshit. Because you know there's bullshit and there's bullshit that Andrew Holness spews. There comes a point, Prime Minister, when you have to give up, let go, and move the hell on. Not even the Constitution, Prime Minister. I will not even send you to read the Constitution or the clauses or sections of the Constitution. It would confuse you. I would rather want you to go back to primary and to do civic before you can get to read and understand the Constitution. That our Constitution, Prime Minister, provide certain ways in which you could become a Jamaican national. So regardless if Mark Golden was born in Jamaica or not, it's neither here nor there. And if, Prime Minister, we are to go with your slender piece of argument, it's not that they are born Jamaican or however he used the phrase, but the choices you made for your country. What about Nigel Clark? What about Nigel Clark? Is he a born Jamaican, and does the choices Nigel Clark made for his country made Nigel Clark a Jamaican? Prime Minister, I'm confused. Clear it up for us, please.
Ballot! Why Andrew then just thumping in your back, why? Andrew my thumping in your back, why? Ballot! You have no integrity. Ballot! What a thump you get in your backy. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ. I have to take a break for this. I want the people them there were watching it here. Ballot! Time come.
Ballot. Mark Golden thump Andrew Holness in and back. And it's not like he never. To those on TikTok, I have the wrong thumbnail up. I just didn't remember to make one. I just grabbed the nearest hand. So I'm not really doing a show on dear old stupefied Babs tonight. I'm with the Prime Minister on our birth certificate. Except a good evening from me, everyone. Me can't but I got through the 1-1 this evening. But good evening, everyone, and welcome. Are you still a Jamaican? Were you shocked last night to find out you're not a Jamaican? Are you been bothered about your Jamaicanness being taken from you by our Prime Minister? What are your thoughts? And the grand old surprise, knowing that you're not a Jamaican. You were just, what them call the word? Me not even know what them call the word. Remember what them call the word? You're just impersonating. You are just impersonating that brand Jamaica that I'm on Banya. Me a real Jamaican. Come fired. That was taken from you last night. Is it a wonder why Andrew Holness treats us like this? Because we are a stateless nation, dangling here, there, and anywhere. We're not really anything or anyone. Does this Prime Minister realize when he speaks, he's speaking to the nation or on behalf of the nation rather than to or about Mount Golden? You cannot make such a speech, Prime Minister, and single it or narrow it down to Mount Golden only. To be a Jamaican is not your birth that makes you a Jamaican. It's the choices you make for your country. I ask the question again, Prime Minister. The choices Nigel Clark made for his country to hop off the good economic bus and go off to the IMF. Is Nigel Clark a Jamaican? Is Adam Holness your son who bought his house in the United Kingdom and is going to university here rather than the University of the West Indies? Is Adam Holness a Jamaican? Because now, it's the choice you're making, a Prime Minister. Being a Jamaican now is the choice you made. You need to go back a civic. Because at this point, if we ask you to read the Constitution, you're going to end up very confused.
Boy! Balot! Why Andrew then just thumping in your back like why? Andrew man thumping in your back like why? Balot! You have no integrity. Balot! What a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ. I have to take a break for this. I want the people them there where watching the beer. Balot! Time come.
No, there are countries that prohibit birthright citizenship, like the United Kingdom of these days. In the era of when Kemi Badenoch was born, the UK had birthright citizenship. However, them cut it out now. But there are still ways of attaining British citizenship other than being born here, Andrew Holness. And for many of you labor rights that's going after Mount Golden, many of you hold dear to your heart that British, Canadian, or American citizenship that UNO are the whole away, but I forget for ourselves and our children. This is the hypocrisy of members of the Jamaica Labour Party who are supporting Andrew Holness on this bullshit. Many of you attain British citizenship, US citizenship, Canadian citizenship by marriage, by whatever way, and you pass it on to your children. That same British citizenship wanna pull down Mount Golden over. A lot of our children have that right. A lot of our crave for our children, our grandchildren have that right. What about Mount Golden and his children? Are they not entitled to? Prime Minister, you cannot. If you say everybody have mad over Mount Golden, big words, scurrilous. You cannot be like that. You cannot continue the Donald Trumpism and keep doubling down when you know say you're wrong, when you make a blunder, Prime Minister, call it quit and move on and stop act like a big spoiled baby with your soda drop out of your mouth, Prime Minister. Pick your bloody soda up, Prime Minister. You can't embarrass the nation every time you speak like that. To the whole day, Prime Minister, I barely get to do anything. You make headline over TikTok. Everybody will come out with them bird paper, Prime Minister, because nobody never knows. So you're so fool. You see, how long may I call you big and fool and good for nothing? You see, how long may I call you big, fool, and good for nothing, Andrew Holness? See it there now? You blunder in front of the whole away. Look on the stage, Prime Minister Andrew Michael Holness. On the stage where you go blunder. The international community, Prime Minister, was watching last night. Big, overgrown, good for nothing fool. The whole world was watching last night. And you go on a stage and embarrass the whole goddamn nation and can tell we say, we bird paper no mean nothing to we anymore. Now we in a ear just a swing and a dangle. So we have become stateless overnight. All because of Andrew Holness, the depravity, and his doubling down and the every ball out.
Why Andrew then just thumping in your back like why? Andrew man thumping in your back like why? Ball out! You have no integrity. Ball out! What a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ, I have to take a break for this. I want the people there. Boy! Ball out! Why Andrew then just thumping in your back like why? Andrew man thumping in your back like why? Ball out! You have no integrity. Ball out! What a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ, I have to take a break for this. I want the people them there where watching the video. Ball out! Hi, come.
Karen Wagwan, Carlos, welcome. Andrew Holness, you are a crying shame and disgrace. Well, overnight, just because of your lies, Prime Minister, just because of your failed promises, you use Mark Golden's citizenship to target him, and in doing so, you bring down the whole Jamaica with you. You bring down the whole away with your Prime Minister. You strip everybody of their birthright. Can you tell us last night, say, we have to make certain choices in order to be considered to be a Jamaican. We're not just Jamaican on the piece of red paper or the piece of blue paper. What am I giving now? You have to make a choice, probably like the one when Nigel Clark make, to jump off the Jamaica's sinking ship and hitch onto the United States IMF ship. That's what we learned last night. We're not just Jamaicans. We have to get the Prime Minister to verify if that choice that we made qualify us to be a Jamaican. Don't you think you sound stupid, Prime Minister? Prime Minister Andrew Holness, don't you think last night you hit? We know say they're going to come angry last night. That was no surprise. We weren't aware though, Prime Minister, you were going to raise the stupidity bar. I mean, even cow will jump over the moon last night. Never have the spring to reach the stupidity bar, Prime Minister, where you try to go over with the nation. You make headline over TikTok, you know, sir. Are you everybody I talk about over TikTok? Everybody over there frightened, I wonder where they be now. All courtesy of a stupid Prime Minister. All courtesy of a Prime Minister who only walk around with big title, but they mean F all, Prime Minister. Hmm? Your big title them. My mother died, so I don't have anyone to ask. Birdo, ballot. You don't have integrity, Prime Minister. The Prime Minister make headline about TikTok, people. Everybody come out on the Prime Minister drip, drip. Because it was surprising to hear. I mean, can you not accept that birth certificate? No to the labor rights. Or not jump up. But the Jamaican Labour Party, there's a never ending cycle. Now, you're all asking that Mark Golden come with the Bluebird paper. It was quite right and befitting that he comes with the old red tear-up bird paper. Everybody will have one of their bird paper that it tear up, are all and half dirty. Because if Mark Golden had ever last night came with the Bluebird paper, it's the biggest fakery. Uno would have bun down RGD this morning and say, as somebody in an RGD, sell Mark Golden that. But the one day, the piece of old one they were all away before they change these new bird paper. The piece of old one day were all away now. We know that one they are not fake. So it was right that Mark Golden came out with that one, because if he come out with the blue one, Uno would have, like how the Prime Minister get backed into a corner last night and he said, no, your birth paper not make you Jamaican. You have to make some good choices or make some choices that I deemed Jamaican-ish or Jamaicanism, so that you can become Jamaican. How you so fool Andrew Holness? Or you forget last night, say, I not just, it never limited. Even if Prime Minister debate was limited to Jamaica, you shouldn't come on a big stage and behave so fool. The whole world was watching. The whole world have the opportunity to watch your repeated blunder. The whole world, Prime Minister. Some of us are still in shock. Some of us are still laughing and say, still long me I tell you the same dunce. Still long me I tell you the same fool. Still long me I tell you the same big and good for nothing. Big, overgrown jackfruit. See how long me I want to know? See there? Prove me right last night. Big old overgrown fool. Look on the stage where you come on last night. Come. But then again, remember, so we didn't expect him. He's the type of person to get up and run. And if you can't get up and run, you have to do some effort. It's either you run or you turn up and do some effort, because the stage the Prime Minister was on last night is not the parliament where him and his wife own, when he can get up and walk out and say, so this. You have to turn up and take the lick them when Mark Golden gave in your back last night. It's not you, Mark Golden, anymore, It's you, Mark Golden, and the entire sensible nation. It's you, Mark Golden, labor rights. When Auntie Dana and Andrew Holness talk, you forgot tell them, say, when them attack, they say what they mean. And when they talk, you don't come out here, come force with say, at that, then did mean, or at that, then they said. That's not our job. What Auntie Dana said and what Andrew Holness said is what we heard, and we talk back. Don't force with it on idiot. Force on the Prime Minister fit on sensible. And that don't do. Don't force with it on idiot. The Prime Minister made a disgraceful blunder last night. He should have dropped it. But then again, they lick them. They lick them did so hot, and we're going to go over some of the licks tonight, We are going to go over some of the licks the Prime Minister got last night, but we'll go ball out one more time. You know, no integrity.
Boy, ball out. Why Andrew then just thumping in your back, look why. Andrew man thumping in your back, look why. Ball out. You have no integrity. Ball out. What a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ, have to take a break for this. I want the people them there were watching the beer. Ball out. Hi, come.
Catching hypeness, me not ever look at anything that Serpentisha there say. But this is the game of politics. You don't play a game to lose. Peter King, Lady Peter King, you really don't play a game to lose. Timing, as Dr. Campbell says, is everything. It was the right time, the final big stage before the election to clock the Prime Minister. Ball out! Ball out!
Ball out! Why Andrew then just thumping in your back, look why. Andrew man thumping in your back, look why. Ball out! You have no integrity. Ball out! What a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TV.
Now, if Mark Golden has put his birth paper in public domain quite some time ago, as the People's National Party would have wanted, Andrew wouldn't have been floored by himself last night the way he did. The flash release by Mark Golden has backed Andrew in a corner last night till Andrew denounced the entire Jamaicans of them citizenship, barring if we do something that pleases in the sight of Andrew Holness. And go, so we're going to be Jamaican. That's how games are played. Politics is a high-end sport. Only that sometimes fools like Andrew Holness get drawn into that high-end game. But it was the right and befitting time. Clot him right upon that big stage where he won't be able to recuperate before election day. Ball out, Prime Minister. You don't have no integrity.
Boy, ball out! Why Andrew then just thumping in your back, look why. Andrew man thumping in your back, look why. Ball out! You have no integrity. Ball out! What a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ, have to take a break for this. I want the people them there were watching the beer. Ball out! Hi, come.
Ball out. When you find out if Nigel Clark is a Jamaican Prime Minister, you make we know, because we really would want to know if Nigel Clark is a Jamaican, because we don't think Prime Minister. Nigel Clark's decision is in the interest of his country. Is Nigel Clark a Jamaican, or is he a United States citizen? As per Andrew Holness last night declaration that your birth doesn't make you a Jamaican. It's the choices, said the Prime Minister, that you made for your country. Who is Nigel Clark, Prime Minister? Let's go back to some of the whooping where Andrew Holness get last night. Look at why Andrew Holness ended up on the rope last night. And then that talk out time head. Ball out! Prime Minister, you sure say. But then again, if you there go enter no more, Jesus, if you there go enter no more debate in a Prime Minister, would I tell you, say, care sugar and water with you? Because to say, we know, say, when you get knocked out, the first thing Granny run come with is a little sugar and water. And the labor right them, me blame the labor right them too. Labor rights. Labor rights, me blame on. Uno shouldn't get ask the Prime Minister to walk with liquor, sugar, and water. So when him get the knockout, he can drink the sugar and water and revive before he come back in the middle of the ring, attack foolish, utter foolishness from the Prime Minister last night. Would you want Andrew Holness to continue to represent you, even though Andrew Holness doesn't think you are a Jamaican? Let's look at some of the high-end clarting that Andrew Holness got last night.
What they know about you is that you have 28 bank accounts, that you received several $1 million in cash deposits from anonymous donors in your bank account, that your companies had transactions of over $400 million, several thousand transactions between them, and that Positive Jamaica Foundation, a non-profit which you are intimately connected with, provided resources which you use for personal investments through your personal company. We have signed the Leadership Code of Conduct developed by Integrity Commission. All of our spokespersons and myself have signed. None of your people have signed it. I am committed to ensuring that all members of the executive, when we form government, will have their Integrity Commission declarations published, not just the leader of the opposition and what should happen, but hasn't happened in your case because you're not certified, the Prime Minister. So the whole question that has been asked is an excellent question. And we really need to step up our vigilance against corrupt behavior, nepotism, and cronyism. The volume of scandals under this Jamaica Labour Party government is unprecedented. Over the number of ministers who have had to be removed from frontline duty, many of them parked in the naughty corner in OP.
Now, I see the labor rights and some of the mainstream media is making much of a do about this that Mark Golden said. Some of these MP has been moved and put into the naughty corner in the office of plenty ministries. Floyd Green, when Floyd Green made his blunder in the COVID, when Floyd Green was removed from agriculture before he was sent back there, Floyd Green went over to the office of plenty ministry. J.C. Hutchinson went over to the office of plenty ministry. So Mark Golden isn't wrong in saying that. In particular, he might have not narrowed it down, but it's not a lie. The Office of Plenty Ministry, when JC blunder, over the JC go. When Floyd Green blunder, over the Floyd Green gusted up. So Mark Golden wasn't lying when he was saying that.
Again, rather than being sacked, it is a disgrace to the country, and your personal situation where you're operating under a deep cloud because your Integrity Commission declarations are not certified also is something which Jamaica cannot go forward with. And what they know about you is that you have...
What they know about you, Andrew, is that you have 28 bank accounts. Hey, Mark Golden and Julian came to the debate on those two separate debates, armed and dangerous. I mean, now when them now look, them are fire bullets. The Prime Minister was caught off guard when Mr. Golden dipped into his pocket and come up with a birth certificate. The Prime Minister cried, "Cree, cree, cree." Not birth certificate alone can do it. We want more than the birth certificate. Now I hear a lot of you labor rights. Then you move the goal post a bit. Mark Golden got Jamaican passport at such a late age. He gave up his British citizenship at age 50. So what? There are many Jamaicans, even though we don't know who will be anymore, who born and dead and never hold a passport. People generally don't go about passport until they're ready for travel. However, Mark Golden had a British passport all this time. There is nothing in our system, nothing under our constitution that says a Jamaican with Jamaican citizenship by birth or descent or by marriage, Prime Minister, is prohibited from using their British passport. It's not permitted. It's not prohibited. So whether Mark Golden wants to use his British passport to travel, I mean, you all Jamaicans who have the access to those passports that you just wave at immigration, why is Mark Golden not allowed to have that travel freedom as well, to wave your passport and pass? Let's look at some of the other whooping that the Prime Minister got last night. We're not going to have meltdown, you know.
Again, Andrew Holness is being disingenuous and tricky. The Integrity Commission referred his matters to the Financial Investigations Division, a law enforcement agency charged with investigating serious financial crimes, for further investigation. What was his response? When there was a vacancy at the head of it, he sought to appoint or influence the appointment of somebody who is his close personal friend and who had said publicly on nationwide radio that he didn't see anything wrong in the report on Mr. Holness's financial situation, the Integrity Commission's report. It was clearly a set-up job, and we feel that very strongly that this needs to be addressed.
Now, PM Vigilant and his Jamaica Labour Party supporters regularly run this narrative. The Integrity Commission saw nothing corrupt of the Prime Minister's dealing. The Integrity Commission made no such pronouncement on the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister came back last night with that same lie or that same shameful piece of narrative to hide him disgrace. For those of you Labourites who are not sure of what happened when the Prime Minister report was tabled, let me explain to you once again. The Integrity Commission did not submit a complete report in the sense that they could not certify the Prime Minister's statutory declaration. They have got to their wits' end where their competency of investigation, they couldn't have probed further. What they have done is refer the Prime Minister on to the competent agencies which can probe the crime or the alleged or supposed criminal activities they have come across in relation to the Prime Minister's financial dealing. In relation to the Kroll report, the Kroll report is a part of the continuous investigation into the Prime Minister's financial dealing. And I wish the Integrity Commission would come out and say this. Thus, we cannot put not the Kroll report, the forensic report that was done, the forensic audit. I wish the Integrity Commission could come out and make this clear to the public. We did not put that out because it is a critical part of FID investigation. FID will need that piece of document as a part of their further probe into the Prime Minister's possible financial crimes, or what appears to the Integrity Commission as financial crimes, whether it be fraud, money laundering, drug dealing, kickback, corruption, money, or anywhere you get it from. But the Integrity Commission is saying, because he can't say to us where those money come from, and we cannot get any documentation from him or the institutions as to where the money come from, then you, the financial investigators, must look into whether the Prime Minister has committed crime in attaining these money. Labor rights, we're adding at that. And then again, when on the Prime Minister, even if we not go to school on a top pan road and play marble, or on a top pan shop pizza and take on the money by bag juice and bulla, and see what not end up. See what not end up that your Prime Minister thinks the Constitution only allow one way to get birthright, to get citizenship, and is by the Prime Minister's stupid utterances. How you so done, sir? How you so big? But then again, you grow so fast and tall, you have to grow out your senses.
Again, Andrew Holness is being disingenuous and tricky. The Integrity Commission referred his matters to the Financial Investigations Division, a law enforcement agency charged with investigating serious financial crimes, for further investigation. What was his response? When there was a vacancy at the head of it, he sought to appoint or influence the appointment of somebody who is his close personal friend and who had said publicly on nationwide radio that he didn't see anything wrong in the report on Mr. Holness's financial situation, the Integrity Commission's report. It was clearly a set-up job, and we feel that very strongly that this needs to be addressed.
My Lord, why Andrew then just thumping in back why? Andrew man thumping in back why? My Lord, you have no integrity. My Lord, what a thump you get in your back. Boy, TVJ, wicked TVJ, I have to take a break for this. I want the people them there where watching it here. My Lord, time come.
Let's move on to another thump by Mark Golden, right in the Prime Minister. And Prime Minister, you know why they thump? This year thump, yeah, you never look, because you all thought we were going into the election, and what we had over Mark Golden, said the Jamaica Labour Party, Mark Golden not banya. Mark Golden not come fire. He's an imposter. Mark Golden, if us and Britain, this is how bright. If we and Britain have a dispute, Jamaica and her bended knees to Great Britain. If we and Britain have a dispute, Mark Golden is going to take Britain's side. There won't be any side, my dear. Britain will hand you orders like that constitution they hand you, written by the Foreign and Commonwealth Ministry that you signed off, that Andrew denounced last night in front of the entire world. What kind of dispute Britain and Jamaica they have? Jamaica take order from Britain. The same king of Jamaica is the same king of Great Britain. What dispute are you talking about there? Look on the big thumb.
First of all, I think the Prime Minister repeated innuendo or direct attack which has been leveled by his party on my nationality.
Remember how birtherism really gets to a fever pitch. It was after phase 1 of the Constitutional Reform Committee broke down because of Andrew Holness' unwillingness to address areas that Mark Golden wants to address, like the final court, the Rastafarian community, the diasporans, the Maroon and their lands and rights. Because Andrew Holness couldn't have or did not want to negotiate, remember I said we're not Jamaican, you know, we live in Andrew Holness's country. So Andrew Holness to just take things and fix it how he want, and Mark Golden stick out and say, no, you have to give everybody a voice in this constitution. Rather than sit down, I would place them where them negotiate a Ville Royal or whatever it be. Before them sit down and work out something, Andrew Holness went out on a birtherist attack on Mark Golden, and it led to all of the blunder coming down to the disgrace that the Prime Minister created in front of the globe last night. the Prime Minister, in a stupefied utterance, denounced all of us birthright last night. You may think this is gimmicks, but it's actually what the Prime Minister did, whether he did it willfully, unwittingly, or in an attempt just to, like he's on his feet, like he has a response. I mean, Prime Minister, what would have been better last night if you would have gone after Mark Golden to say it's a fake birth certificate? That, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, would have made some sense in your tiny sand grain of a brain, Prime Minister. In the tiny sand grain that you have to use all of these information in, it would have been a better political comeback or a comeback in the debate to go after Mark Golden for a fake birth certificate. But could you really fake that old one, Prime Minister? But it would still be a better going after him. But to have draw the entire country in a saga, Prime Minister. But then again, the first question, before you open your mouth in the Prime Minister, it all went downhill. The first question, the first question came out of the debate from Dean Jacks Miller. Prime Minister, you were destroyed. Prime Minister, you've lost the debate before the first question. Now, forget your answer. Put it aside. Put it in the basket right now, Prime Minister. Put your answer in the basket. Let's just, the question that Dean Jacks Miller asked, Prime Minister, that was where you lost the debate. Because you see, that question you would have wanted to come at a later point. Lord Jesus, Andrew Holness, it was on the rope last night. I mean, next time you go into a boxing match, Prime Minister, care sugar and water. Because when you get knocked out, the sugar and water bring you back to your senses, and then you won't have to talk every like you did last night. So next time, care some sugar and water with you.
First of all, I think the Prime Minister repeated innuendo or direct attack which has been leveled by his party on my nationality. And, I just wanted to just make it absolutely clear that I am indeed born here as a Jamaican. Here is my birth certificate, and it shows I was born at the University Hospital on July 19th, 1965, and it's right here. I hope your camera can pick it up. And I have a copy for you, Prime Minister, right here. And I wish you could provide me with a copy of your certification, but of course you can't do so. Now, on the question of tax, there's a third schedule to the GCT Act now, which has a long list of items which are not subject to GCT that are exempt. We feel that laptops and other devices are critical tools of trade, and it is wrong to tax them, and we are going to add them to that list. And similarly, sports equipment, which is vital for social cohesion. Sports is a critical part of keeping young people away from straying down the wrong path and so on. Why are we taxing those items? That cost of living is already high. So I don't agree. The system we have already caters for items which should not be taxed. And we're simply saying we want to adjust those items to include things that should be there but are not yet there.
My Lord, why Andrew then just thumping your back, look why Andrew man thumping your back, look why my Lord, you have no integrity, my Lord, what a thumping getting your back, boy TVJ, wicked TVJ, I have to take a break for this. I want the people them there were watching the beer, my Lord, time come.
You died from the first question. But you, Prime Minister, first dead Prime Minister, family got funeral. Family got funeral Prime Minister. Me never see a dead with shovel in a their hand and mold up them own grave. You manage. Prime Minister, you broke so much history last night. Prime Minister, you broke so much history last night. That's you, same one. Have your shovel and mold up your grave. How could you, Andrew Holness? Andrew Holness, how could you have come? I mean, we know you did it, dogged it as the proper way of speaking. We know, Prime Minister, you dogged your grave. We were surprised, though, to see you, same one, turn round and mole up your grave. Prime Minister, allow us. You know, we were going to come out here for mole up your grave, Prime Minister. You never have to take on that the work last night. You could have let us mold your grave this morning, PM. You never have to last night dig your grave and turn round, lay down it, a first duppy me see in a grave with shovel, Prime Minister. You fit up the foolishness. That's why I tell you say all the time, we're an educated people, not because we are so deprived of information, Prime Minister. No means that we're not educated. We are thinkers, Prime Minister. But the way you cheat with is like the older way, docile and back a wall like you. You don't move from off a Cumberland Road yet, you know. You no come off of the barefoot bad road yet, Prime Minister. You don't come out of the 1-2 bedroom board house yet. When will Andrew Holness evolve? When will Andrew Holness come up and step up and come out of the mud, Prime Minister? Oh, you love rubbing up, but then again, labor rights are pigs. And what does pig do? Pig will see the big old swarm of water, and then pig said, no, the wet mud. The wet mud better. You're wallowing in wet mud have caused you the biggest disgraceful blunder last night, and such a big stage where you come to come represent the country as a Prime Minister. You come to come represent your party. And what did you do? With your selfish way of owning the country, you look pan way and tell we said, no, until I say that choice that you have made is befitting for you to become a Jamaican. Other than that, you're not Jamaican.
The context in which we have decided.
Now, this was where Andrew Holness lost the debate. This was the question, the first question that Dan Jackson Miller asked. This is the Opal Watson. May I use the wrong graphics on TikTok tonight? I just never prepare my TikTok graphics. So I just grab anything in the graphics loop on TikTok and put up there. And well, tonight we're dealing with docile people. Babsy is one of the docile ones. So, Prime Minister, what an embarrassment. I wouldn't want to call you my PM. Not at all. Not after last night. Even if you were my Prime Minister, after last night, because I don't know if I'm a Jamaican anymore, I can't claim you. I wonder, what are we? What are we on the 29th? It's now the 30th in the United Kingdom, but for you in Jamaica, it's the 29th of August. What are we, Prime Minister? This is the question that caused Andrew the entire debate. This was where Andrew Holness got derailed, and the poor, bewildered Prime Minister, belligerent, never get himself back on track.
The context in which we have decided to increase the threshold to 3.5 million is the hollowing out of the middle class in this country. Working families finding it extremely difficult to make ends meet. And we believe with the debt to GDP ratio having now, after 13 and a half years of belt tightening and austerity, having now reached the cusp of the target of 60% of GDP introduced into the fiscal rules in law under Portia Simpson Miller, this is a time, this year it's expected actually, with the readjustment of the definition and calculation of GDP, this is a year that we expect to achieve that target. That will release 2.5% to 3% of GDP of additional resources, which were not previously budgeted for in the fiscal policy paper. That is more than sufficient to pay for our entire program, including the $3.5 million increase to 3.5 million of the tax threshold, which will make our civil servants and our middle managers, and indeed most of Jamaicans who are presently suffering under the high burden of the cost of living, have money that they can spend, they can fix up their homes, extend their homes with a room, buy a car if they don't have one, pay down debt where they may be in arrears. It is necessary to preserve the country from brain drain and to keep the society intact.
Mark Golden referred to you as querulous last night, but I would refer to you as vituperative, the vituperative PM, in an effort to double down, because it's the Donald Trumpism Prime Minister that happened last night. The doubling down, the not accepting that you are wrong, the shifting the goalposts to keep the narrative going, Prime Minister. Look at the blunder that took place last night, PM. PM vituperative. That's your new name. That's your new name, Prime Minister. You cannot, every time you have an audience with the Jamaica people, Prime Minister, it's a contemptuous one. Me telling all the while that this Prime Minister treats us with contempt. This Prime Minister have no respect for the people of Jamaica. That's why the Prime Minister could come last night and come denounce the whole of us in order for his political narrative. Because Brother Mark Golden was born in Jamaica, it's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. He would have lived in Jamaica a long time enough and qualified for Jamaican citizenship by marriage. So the going on about Mark Golden's citizenship, it's neither here nor there. Good evening, Labor Right, who is sending me under my mother. Good evening and welcome. How are you? When you're going back to school, when you start from Jamal and come up, when you have it bad, labor rights, when you have it bad and you don't have, it's not like Mark Golden, where it's a very bright man, and Mark Golden choose a very bright team, which we want to say, I want to be bright like Damian Crawford. I want to be bright like Isaac Buchanan. I want to be bright like Miranda Wellington. I want to be bright like Donna Muckley. There's nothing over the PNP to, I want to be like them. Nothing. Zilch. Nil point. Labor rights. Nil point. There's nothing that we would want to be, that we see of the Jamaica Labour Party, that we would want to be like you all. After we no pig figure get up rubbing a mud every day. Labor rights. Let's look at another swipe that Mark Golden took at the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister was on the rope the entire debate. Next time, carry sugar and water with you. Sugar and water good if you knock out. Andrew Holness, when we are picking and drop out a tree, the first thing they run come with Andrew a sugar and water. Where was your sugar and water last night, Prime Minister? You took your lamp to the debate, Prime Minister. But last night, certainly, your oil got run out right on the big stage.
Oh, they work out. No one like you fast asleep. Reply till I say, rise and trim your life. Here's a message on your seal. Kill this man out. Lord God. Hey, but you fast asleep. Rise and trim up your lamp. Here's a message on your seal. You took your lamp, but you don't carry no oil. You took the lamp, but you don't carry no oil. You carry the lamp, but you never carry no oil. You took the lamp, but you don't carry no oil. Five were wise, five were foolish. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no oil. Them took the lamp, but them never carry no oil. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no oil. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no oil. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry no oil. Five were wise, five were foolish. Them took the lamp, but them don't carry.
Yes, Prime Minister. You certainly brought your lamp last night. You certainly, and your Holness, brought your lamp last night. Run out of aisle though. You should have used some of the gas aisle. I want to make comments on TikTok. You should have used some gas aisle, Prime Minister. What has TikTok done to my thing? I can't see any comments on TikTok anymore. What on earth? I don't know what happened on TikTok, my page. All the comments get wiped. I don't know. TikTok has me cancel no comment anymore. This is disturbing. Oh, this is disturbing. I don't know what TikTok has done to me. Never mind. Never mind. My comments have been wiped. I don't know why. Well, we have another whooping for the PM. We ought to have another whooping here. PM. That's what you get for being silly and your Holness. Being battered in front of the entire nation without even being able to defend yourself. That's why you turned fool last night. I want to my TikTok comment them.
The general election next week, Wednesday, presents a historic opportunity for the people of Jamaica. After 13 and a half years of belt tightening and austerity, we are finally in a situation where the debt to GDP ratio has achieved or is on the cusp of achieving the 60%, which was written into the fiscal rules by Portia Simpson Miller. That means that the fiscal rules and prudent economic management can change gear and look at how we can grow the economy and build a society with a better quality of life for all. We see some serious issues that need to be addressed. 700,000 Jamaicans or thereabouts live on public land, lands where they build their homes, but they don't have titles. The colonial era law set the period of 60 years of occupation before they can get ownership. We are going to reduce that to 25 years. We're going to give them titles. And that is going to unlock over $1 trillion of wealth, which is now sealed up and quarantined in the old colonial era law that is still on the books. That is why also we're increasing the threshold to 3.5 million. So working families who are struggling to make ends meet, can get a little break so they can live a better life. It's why we're going to be removing the tax from the overtime pay of workers earning up to $6 million so they can make it easier in life as well. And when I govern the country as Prime Minister to serve you, I will ensure that accountability and transparency are at the center of what we do, and any hanky-panky, any violation of the public trust will be met with a...
Wrong prayer. John Crow. It look like the labor rights them employ your TikTok. Because all the while things are going with Andrew Holness, you subject me to all kind of nonsense. Where you turn off my comment for? Don't you realize that we live in the West? We live in a democracy. We have free speech. Stop turning off my comments, TikTok, and stop giving my page violations. I'm using free speech that is acceptable on every other social media that I'm using. Stop it. And stop being so petulant and labor right-ish. When it's about labor right, TikTok gonna always violate me. Why is TikTok violating me? What am I doing to you for you to violate? Am I not entitled to free speech, TikTok? Or Andrew Holness a pay or no? You don't leave me, man. Leave me alone. If the Prime Minister can denounce for citizenship, we have right to talk about it. Make we talk. I feel with citizenship get taken away from we last night. And we get up this morning as a stateless nation. Because we don't know if with choices qualify we. Leave me alone, TikTok. TikTok, leave me alone. Leave me free speech. And stop back up the criminal regime in Jamaica because we know benefit from it with contract and tax break and all heap of corruption. TikTok, leave me alone. Labor rights, why are you not coming out after me? Same way the one them found on a parity and Black River all sort. Them can't walk past my page without them come walla in a mud, labor rights. Stop walk and patrol my mouth, TikTok. Stop walk and patrol my mouth. Sometimes you just get bust like a baby. Leave my mouth alone, man. When Andrew Holness attack the fuck with them, we don't see her run round and I put her over by mouth. Why you never run go pick him up last night when Mark Golden lick him down? TikTok, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
The general election next week, Wednesday, presents a historic opportunity for the people of Jamaica. After 13 and a half years of belt tightening and austerity, we are finally in a situation where the debt to GDP ratio has achieved or is on the cusp of achieving the 60%, which was written into the fiscal rules by Portia Simpson Miller. That means that the fiscal rules and prudent economic management can change gear and look at how we can grow the economy and build a society with a better quality of life for all. We see some serious issues that need to be addressed. 700,000 Jamaicans or thereabouts live on public land, lands where they've built their homes, but they don't have titles. The colonial era law set the period as 60 years of occupation before they can get ownership. We are going to reduce that to 25 years. We're going to give them titles. And that is going to unlock over $1 trillion of wealth, which is now sealed up and quarantined in the old colonial era law that is still on the books. That is why also we're increasing the threshold to 3.5 million. So working families who are struggling to make ends meet can get a little break so they can live a better life. It's why we're going to be removing the tax from the overtime pay of workers earning up to $6 million so they can make it easier in life as well. And when I govern the country as Prime Minister to serve you, I will ensure that accountability and transparency are at the center of what we do, and any hanky-panky, any violation of the public trust will be met with the full force of the law with no protection from me. And that is a huge difference between the government I will lead and the government of Andrew Holness. That is why I'm asking you, on election day, next Wednesday, vote for the People's National Party. Put your ex beside the head. Time come for a better life.
My people, time come for a better life. It is time that we make decision that benefits us and not the political class. Based on what Mark Golden and his team has put forward, it is more beneficial for the people of Jamaica, as opposed, to what Andrew Holness has promised and has failed on twice. We cannot accept another set of promise from Andrew Holness that we know the Prime Minister will fail on. Just like we were confident that because the People's National Party had won the first 2 rounds of debate, they were also going to win the final round of the debate. We are that confident as well that because the Prime Minister has failed to deliver on 2 sets of promises, given another chance, the Prime Minister will fail again. It was okay when the Prime Minister fooled us once. The Prime Minister fooled us twice, and we should not let him get away with it. It will be a blunder for us if we allow such a fool in the image of Andrew Holness. Because him fooling. And when we say fool, we don't mean like a boys with them foolness, or for Donald Duck them fool. We're talking about fool. We're talking about good foolishness. And boy, this Prime Minister is not afraid to issue them out. Is this Prime Minister really taking advice? Is there anyone around the Prime Minister advising the Prime Minister? Or the Prime Minister just making blunder them? You're walking in the dark, you know, PM. You're walking in the dark. You know, see where you go. Because if you were seeing where you were going, you wouldn't have said what you said last night. As me said, it would have better Prime Minister if you have gone after Mark Golden for a fake birth certificate. It would have suited the narrative war. Politics is about narratives. Who have the best narrative? Or in Jamaica would say who have the best girl. It would have been a better narrative war if you want to use as a comeback in the debate, Prime Minister. It would have been more fitnable for you to go after the authenticity, or whatever the word mean. Can I tie up my tongue when me talking of Mark Golden's birth certificate? But we go after the whole country, Prime Minister. That wasn't good at all. And we're hoping that you can come out and clarify to us whether Nigel Clark is Jamaican or not. Donna Scott Motley, good evening, ma'am. We hear you say today, or we make use, or we can make use of. I challenge you, Donna Scott Motley, to tell me the difference of the yellow bus here and full cub. That's why I'm telling us, say, use them as full cub. Hog pen. You can use them as corner shop. You can use them as a mobile restaurant in the community, or a stationary restaurant. You can use them as staff room past school compound. See, the TikTok violates me again for 10 minutes. TikTok, you can go on. Go on in your hisifitism tonight. There's a lot of ways where we can use them, we not lose no money. Anybody will take dollar dash way. Anybody will throw dollar in a half plate. So we not really lose no money, given that we know say a $110 for the whole entire rafter our Darrell vase can come. And it probably I'll get brought up. Maybe I'll just pay $100 for 100 of them and then get 10 as brought up, because you know when people are selling mango, and when you buy the dozen mango, then throw a few penny as brought again. So who's to tell Darrell vase 10 of the bus could even be brought up? So we know it's only $100 Darrell vase pay for the bus them. Because must brought the other 10 day. So we don't really lose nothing. What we must demand of Darrell vase and Andrew Holness is with $1.4 billion back. That's what we want. We want $5.4 billion. Because it asks anybody in a diaspora, anybody will put out that $100, pay for the 100 bus, and we know we get brought up on it. Anytime you see people sell things and they want to get you off of their hand, then give a brought up to make sure the case done. So because the US want the derelictcy out of their country, Prime Minister, we know to say, then give Darrell vase the brought of them stuff. Them free up more space. So our money we're concerned about. We're not concerned about the fall rules. We're not concerned about the fall rules, Prime Minister. What we are concerned about is with $1.4 billion we all we don't take away. And that we want back. We could have pushed the bus them over the cliff. They are like here. But to say that you would put them on the road, even if we not put with children in the rickety tickety balmy areas and the hilly areas where them are going to cause most havoc. Them are going to cause havoc anywhere in Jamaica you put them, because then driving at the middle of the road, them bigger than the size of the road, they can turn left or right like an alligator. So they're not suitable. They're a danger to road users, not just to our children, Miss Motley. So we are one of our now. So when you see me on a thought war when you come in a government over the old bus them, Miss Motley, you know why. So you can't frighten or you can't surprise when you come in a power and we are not thought color up over the hog pen and the fall cook them. They're a danger to road users. They're not just a danger to our children. They are a danger to road users. And they have to put on road. Just like how America had them park up, can them go park up at Darrell vase yard. Can them go park at Darrell vase yard, because we don't have space for them and we never bargain for it, so we never provide space for it. Andrew Holness, you have become Jamaica's biggest disgrace. Anybody never believe we? It was proven last night. It was proven last night, Prime Minister. If anybody think to say, we did just a target you, or we did just a say things bow you, and you come out last night and make it clear to yourself, to the world, I'm a big, old, good for nothing fool. You came out last night and showed the world, I, Andrew Holness, I am a Big old, good for nothing fool. All your waste of school fee, you know. All you and your Holness use a waste of school fee. You could have learned anything where you talk, you could have learned it on Cumberland Road. Me not say where you go to school, go learn, or how what you learn at school contribute to you being a prime minister. Your mouth. Every time you open your mouth, you're getting in trouble because you're so flippant. You not think before you talk. You just walk on, you want to dribble a prime minister? Do you want a dribbler? Because you just walk on a dribble so. Engage your brain and your Holness. And all that dunce, you know. You're playing up to the dunceness of the Jamaica Labour Party. Because if it was an international audience questioning you last night, you would have had a more calmer demeanor. You would not jump on, taunt and rave all over the place. So. But when you're in front of a Jamaican audience, you play the dunce game to appeal to supporters of the Jamaica Labour Party. Last night was a total embarrassment. A long time Andrew putting foot in her mouth, you know. A long time Andrew wants to put in foot in her mouth. Andrew Holness.
Everyone, my name is Daniel Thomas. My issue that I would like to raise at this time is with respect to needs. We are not against a national ID. In its current form, it poses significant issues for many Jamaicans. 60,000 Jamaicans here and abroad who feel that there needs to be more consultation, ventilation of the issues, pros and cons. Withdraw the bill, allow for proper ventilation of the issues over a 3-month period, even town hall meetings and joint select committee where we can properly speak about the many issues that are in the bill. We're not against the bill, but we are for the country of Jamaica moving forward. Thanks.
Well, I'm very happy that we find common ground, being that we are both for the country moving forward.
You already asked.
We've asked the question.
No, you already asked.
Oh, it was rhetorical. Okay, fine. Like many other things, it's rhetorical. Fine. What's new? You talk about consultation. You know what I reject? Do you know what I reject? I reject the view that somehow you have a higher moral authority on this matter than I do. I'm not here to create a system that is going to deprive Jamaicans of their freedom. And you know what else?
But the bill
I am not hiding from consultation. I am here facing the questions. Unlike most, I am facing the questions and answering them.
A few moments later.
My name is Glendon Martin. I am a student of the University of Technology. What I have to say, well, I have a comment actually. The gentleman that asked the question on NIDS, Mr. Prime Minister, I was taken aback by the way you responded to the question. I felt that you came across too strong. I was listening to you. I was saying, should I go and ask this gentleman a question? Will he answer me in the same tone that he answered the young man? And what I want to say and what I want to see in Jamaica or overall with politics is that our politicians behave sometimes, even in parliament, when you see them jumping over, arguing with each other. Our young people are looking at this and they're saying this is something that is right because the politicians, the leaders of our country, this is something that they do. So, Mr. Prime Minister, I would like for you to, first of all, apologize on the way you responded to the question. And secondly, allow me to finish, please.
this is a student, a junior, trying the prime minister. A long time, Andrew Holness foot end up in a mouth, you know. When you end up at a university, and university students have to be insane, calm down there. Calm down there. It's only a commercial. You don't have to go on so. You don't have to throw your skirt over your head and go on ghetto prime minister. Long time Andrew Holness are gone so. In behavior sometimes come across surprising, but if you don't know, sir, this is just the normal Andrew Holness. Is who he is. Sometimes you want to almost say, him really don't know better. Sometimes you want to think, Andrew Holness really don't know better. Why is my singing?
My father Banya, my father Banya, my grandmother Banya, my.
You know, Prime Minister, you know what you had done to this song last night as well? You have nullified this song because I'm on Banya. My mother Banya, my grandmother Banya, Prime Minister, is in reference to our citizenship, is in reference to our Jamaicanness. It was in reference also to Michael Manley's citizenship. And here we are in 2025, 50 years on, Prime Minister, and we have reversed. We have reversed, courtesy of Andrew Holness. As a country, we have gone backwards socially. Courtesy of Andrew Holness, we have seen a racism charge led in our country by the Prime Minister of Jamaica. We have gone backwards under Andrew Holness. We have never had another Prime Minister in our country that nurtures racism in the way that Andrew Holness does. We have never had another leader who nurtures violence as Andrew Holness does. We've never had a lead, we have had a couple labor rights leaders that turn guns at us. So he's not the only one like that. Buster turned guns at us. Siaga turned guns at us. Bruce Golden turned the guns, Tipali people. Tipali people want chop off on a finger. The finger they want to use, put in an ink for labor right. And see Andrew Holness come back and turn him guns on the nation. So for those of you who want to belong to somewhere or something, or seek citizenship somewhere else, or want to just decide to become stateless, or you get the list from Andrew Holness and ask what it is, Prime Minister. What choice is it, Prime Minister, that I can make to become a Jamaican? Because I have just found out my birth certificate, or actually been born on that piece of rock, does not afford me the right of citizenship, of the Jamaicanism that we all hold dear to. We wake up in our days, Prime Minister. We wake up feeling, where am I? Who? We are asked, ourselves, are we? And Holness just strip with on so. I want to thank you all for being here with me tonight. Today, what a Friday today, we don't. Me now make no plan. If there's anything, because Saturday morning in the United Kingdom already. If there's anything that I will need to come out tomorrow, I will certainly do. But otherwise, we will take a little bit of rest because, you know, say Monday, Lord God Almighty. When the work start Monday, when it starts Monday morning, it's going straight through until Thursday afternoon. It's a marathon broadcast for next week. The older we go out here and knock pan. The older we go out here and continue to pull down Andrew Holness. Becoming a top campaign Thursday morning in the Prime Minister. All when they vote them tally up Wednesday night, me still a campaign to Thursday morning. So next week is going to be a busy week with politics and journalism because we are going to cover every move of what is going on in our country. And we are hoping that the indoor workers on the ground can be vigilant. Those at the returning offices counting the ballots will be vigilant enough to prevent Andrew Holness from stealing the election. Is it a wonder on the day that police and soldiers who would have sent a signal to the government were voted, there were bomb threats left, right, and center of the country? This is the new law of Andrew Holness, disfranchising the security services of our country, disfranchising them, preventing them from exercising their democratic right. That thing that the suffragettes, Sam Sharp, and everybody fought, bled, and died for, the right to vote. That's why you, the people of Jamaica, must make sure you exercise that right in the interest of a productive country and your children's future. So, you know, say if you don't see me tomorrow on Sunday, then bright and early Monday morning, the bangarang will when the government start again. But, you know, scandals normally break on weekends. You might never can tell. A scandal might just erupt. So we have to run out. Thank you. Good night from Global TV and have yourself an amazing weekend. If you're new to the program, please give us a follow so when we go live, you do get our notification. Thank you and good night from Global TV. We will continue to remind the Prime Minister, Webania.
The greatest political song in history.
My father Banya, my father Banya, my grandmother Banya, my grandmother Banya, Ayana Ibanya, Ayana Ibanya, my leader Banya, my leader Banya. That's why I not live here. No, I not live here. He gave I a message to all those people who no love progress, who no love progress. Say to juke them with land lease. Say to juke them with land lease. Let the juke them with the pioneer war. Juke them with the pioneer war. Juke them with Jamal. them with free education. Shoot them with free education. Equal pay for women. Equal pay for women. Shoot them with the minimum wage. Shoot them with the minimum wage. My leader Panya. My leader Panya. So let me die in a lane. Oh, I not live. Me a sat down with discipline. And a every man. Me in a the struggle too. Me in a the struggle too. No bastard, no day again. No bastard, no day again. Everyone laughful. Oh, everyone laughful. My father Panya. My grandmother Panya. My grandmother Panya. Ayana Ipanya. Ayana Ipanya. My leader Panya. My leader Panya. That's why I not live. No, I not live. He gave me a message.
One, bro, you come when we're done.
To all those people who no love progress.
Or you can watch over on YouTube.
No love progress.
You can rewatch on YouTube.
Say to do them with land lease. Say to do them with land lease. Let me do them with the pioneer war. Do them with the pioneer war. Do them with Jamal. Do them with Jamal. Then you do them with free education. Do them with free education. Equal pay for women. Equal pay for women. Do them with the minimum wage. Do them with the minimum wage. My leader Panya. My leader Panya. So let me die in a lane. Oh, I not live. Me a sat down with discipline. And a every man. Me in a the struggle too. Me in a the struggle too. No bastard, no day again. No bastard, no day again. Everyone laughful. Oh, everyone laughful. To them with the Cuban school. To them with the Cuban school.
If you don't like missing out on the latest shows but still enjoy classic hits, then Global TV Group 358 is your perfect match. Global TV Group 358 isn't just another channel, it's your ultimate TV experience. From breaking news to binge-worthy dramas and timeless classics, we've got it all. Our unique blend of original content and global favorites means there's something for everyone. And guess what? With GTVG's seamless streaming, you can watch anywhere, anytime. Plus, our interactive features let you be part of the action. So, whether you're a seasoned binge watcher or a casual viewer, Global TV Group 358 is here to keep you entertained day and night. Don't just watch TV, experience it with Global TV Group 358. Subscribe now and never miss a moment.